This is Hotsports, the longest running independent sports show on Nigerian television. My name is Babajide Guerrero, and it gives me great joy to know that you guys are in good health. And of course, if you had a long and boring week, that week is about to get even more lit positively now because of what we are bringing. So how about you just sit back, relax, and enjoy what it is we're bringing on the offering after this break. We'll be right back after this. And we are back. It's that time for you to do well to grab a cup of drink just to help you relax just a little bit. Well, Dari Oguns make the list today. Dari, how are you?
Yeah, it's good to be back after 1 week of sporting events and lots of jibes, particularly from Manchester United fans, Jose Mourinho.
For a Man United fan, it's a good time to be alive. You guys have been under a lot of pressure, but winning against Tottenham was a good way, to start the midweek games, and as well as the weekend that I'll be seeing. Well, it's a good way to see him as well. He makes his return to the show. The one that has so many names, but let's just stick to Fisayo. Fisayo, how are you? How do you even live waking up every day knowing that you have people calling you different kind of names every day?
It is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting indeed, and that's the kind of affairs that has been going on right now at the AFN, gentlemen. The Athletics Federation of Nigeria, they are in 6s and 7s. They are in chicken and turkey. They are in everywhere.
Yeah.
It's raining shame.
Yeah.
It's raining disgrace.
Yeah.
It's raining lack of integrity, for them right there. The crisis continues for the AFN. The new dimension occurred on Wednesday when the Ibrahim Gusau-led AFN declared autonomy from the Sport Ministry. They had their own congress in Awka, and guess what? Another congress also held in Abuja. Apparently, the congress also announced the appointment of a certain Pepo, Siminalayi Pepo, as the general secretary for the federation, while Irikefe Ogbogbo as the federation's legal advisor. Now, the AFN has 15 members, all right? So some, it's quite funny, guys. Yeah. Some has 8, some has 7, and then they are sacking each other. How did we get here?
Show me a federation in Nigeria that is not depleted at the moment, that doesn't have fraction. Definitely that federation doesn't have money to throw around. I think that's the story of Nigerian sports as at now. We are talking about fraction being divided. They are meant to have 15 members, 7 going with the Ibrahim Gusau-led board, and the remaining 8 going for the vice president, made the interim president after the suspension of Ibrahim Gusau by the other faction. Meeting was held in Abuja and in Akwa. Lots of things. The one in Akwa, Anambra State, are saying that they are declaring autonomy, rather. They are returning autonomy or independence, whichever way you want to put it, from the sports ministry, saying that they don't want interference anymore. And on the other side, where you have the Olamide George, who is the interim president at the moment, they are saying that they need to bring some of these persons.
Did you name him interim president?
That was after the during the Congress in Abuja.
Yeah. The hammer of the IAAF has to fall on the AFN for them to put their house in order.
Absolutely, I think that's just it right there. And again, when that happens, it also means that Nigeria athletics may suffer because. By extension, when you have hammer fall on the body, in a way, it also will not allow the participants or athletes from that particular country to be able to compete.
And the implication of this is that we have Tokyo 2020 Olympics coming next year.
And this shouldn't even be happening a few months, let's say, to the Olympics. It's absolutely disgraceful.
It is indeed. And for the lack of better word, it's a shame. And then I think this is the time the minister, Sunday Dare, who I think he has had so much job patching up things that it didn't even cost so far. And he's doing a good job at it. So it's time for you to swing into your fire rescue mode, Minister. So please do well to make sure that particular middle is quite neated. Well, he has done well to be part of the list of the 10 players to be named, the top 10 players in Africa that would later be streamlined to 3 and talk about the CAF Awards. The 10-man shortlist is out, and during the course of the week we saw it. Osimhen and Chukwueze are in the young player category. Meanwhile, Odion, former Super Eagles striker, makes a particular entry into the particular group of elite players. I will also get to talk about these particular players that made the list and players that didn't make the list. But on your screen is a confirmation of all the players, 10 of them. We can also say congratulations to all of them that are currently on that particular list. Step forward, Andre Onana from Cameroon, and Ajax, Hakim Ziyech of Ajax and Morocco, Kalilou Koulibaly of Mali, of Senegal, I beg your pardon, and Napoli, Ismail Benatia of Algeria, Mohamed Salah of Egypt, Odion Igalo of Nigeria, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of Gabon, Riyad Mahrez, and as well as Sadio Mane, for me the best player right now in the world. I don't care what numbers say. Yusuf Belaili right now at the same time also in that particular mix. So yeah, congratulations to those players. We also must congratulate Asisat Oshoala, who is among 5 players competing for the women's version of the award alongside Ajara Nchut of Cameroon and Valerenga. Meanwhile, Gabrielle Ongwen of Cameroon and CSK Moscow, Tabitha Chanwenga of Malawi, and Janju Sunin and Thembi Ngatlana of South Africa, and Beijing Phoenix FC. All of them are right there in that mix. What can money do for you? If you have money, how fanatical can you get? Well, we can confirm that there is a huge Saudi royal who wants the ring from the Ruiz-Joshua rematch as a souvenir.
They say money answers everything.
I can confirm it now.
This is exactly what he's doing.
Absolutely.
He wants a memorabilia from the fight that's going to happen between Anthony Joshua and Ruiz. He said even the blood stains from the stadium, from the ring rather, shouldn't be wiped off. That he wants it as it is for himself in his palace.
We've seen players go to the other net to cut it and keep it in their in their mini museum rather.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how fanatic some persons can be when it comes to the game. Now it's boxing. Maybe that is why it's extreme. What if it's football? We've seen players go to cut the grass and keep the grass like forever. So we've seen players keep the boot of a legend and also show it to generations to come. This is the extent fans can go for the game they love the most.
Okay, so remember that particular fight will be tonight, 9 p.m. GMT, of course, but then if you add +1, it's going to be 10 p.m. Nigerian time. But before we go into other things, let me come to you, Fisayo. The match, Ruiz, Anthony Joshua. What do you think?
Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, one was a surprise for everybody because Anthony Joshua hadn't lost any fights until that fight against Ruiz. Nobody knew Ruiz to be... We didn't see him as he was going to be a threat to Anthony Joshua because of Anthony Joshua's power. He knocked out Klitschko and the likes. But Ruiz shocked the world like Oliver McCall shocked Lennox Lewis in '95. But hopefully, Anthony Joshua Ruiz too will be different.
Yeah, hopefully, for the sake of a Nigerian. For the sake of men like this guy, Dari, what do you think?
I think Joshua must have learned his lesson. One of them is the fact that the size. We talked about how big he was in the previous fight, and we can see he slimmed down a bit. He's traded the size for speed, and when you have speed on your side, you are going to punch faster. However, my fear in all of this is that I hope he has not traded the speed for the weight of his punches. I mean, when you slim down like that, it tends to affect the weight of your punches, and I hope that won't be the case. Having said all of this, you must also realize on one thing as well. Andy Ruiz love to fight at close range, and once you are at close range with a boxer with a good reach, you are always going to find it very difficult as a tall boxer. So he needs to keep his distance and use the ring better than the way he did in the previous fight. And I think it's good to go. He's learned his lesson. And just like Kelvin Barry said, one of the boxers that gave it to Andy Ruiz, a boxer who only had 3 weeks to prepare for the fight against Anthony Joshua and still won the bout. He said, I gave it to Andy Ruiz the other time, but it's obvious Joshua has learned his lesson, and he will definitely take this one.
Well, I like to call this match for Anthony Joshua. For all it's worth, he needs to win. He needs to win. He needs to also...
It's actually a make or break fight for his career. Because if he should lose this fight, he will go down the pecking order. Because right now, Dillian White is next in line to challenge the winner of Wilder and Fury.
And Dillian White is also an undercard for the tonight's fight as well. Not forgetting the likes of Povetkin as well. Remember, he defeated Alexander Povetkin last time. And these are guys in the undercard tonight. They win, they stand a chance of fighting Andy Ruiz. Okay,
so other teams as well stood chances of making their fate better at the ongoing season of the English Premier League. And it was match week 15. Midweek games we saw. And then we also saw games at the last weekend. But boy, oh boy, Liverpool blew away Everton like they were not even there. And if you consider the fact that 5 regular starters didn't start that game, it just shows to show the level of depth. We were always saying that Liverpool didn't have that kind of depth, but was Everton just that bad? Let me start with you. Or it was just Liverpool's prowess?
Everton has been very terrible this season. They have only 4 wins in 14 games. And they hadn't won in 8 before the Liverpool game. So Liverpool making a meal of them. Liverpool making a meal of them is basically was expected. Okay. Everton hasn't won at Anfield since 1999 when Kevin Campbell scored the winning goal. So it was expected that Liverpool were going to have the better of the game.
All right, let's talk about another game that happened in the course of that week. Man United having to host a coach that was their special one, but unfortunately he ended in tears for him. Lost that game to. But why do United tend to play better sometimes against bigger teams and then they come back to their level against small teams?
I think it's basically the atmosphere. And when you realize the fact that there is a loss at stake, particularly in terms of prestige as well, they tend to up the ante and do very well for themselves. And particularly when you realize it's Jose Mourinho coming back to the ground where a lot of people felt he didn't live on a good note with some players. The players need to prove themselves. And Rashford during the week was absolutely fantastic, more or less like a Cristiano Ronaldo. They play Manchester City next. We hope they give this fantastic performance. And Manchester City, as well, know what's at stake. They need to win if at all they want to play the catch-up against Liverpool.
Liverpool, they are blazing all cylinders at the moment. 32 top-flight wins. Anfield has become that particular fortress, and Jurgen Klopp is now sitting in good confidence with Jose Mourinho to become only the fastest coach, second fastest coach to have that number of wins. He has 100 wins now in 152 games. Mourinho did his in 142. But in all of this together, it's the makeup of a season. I think it's Liverpool's season already. But if they bottle this, like they've bottled the previous ones, then we should be very, very worried about them as a team. Well, games will be played this weekend. Today, we will see in a couple of hours. Everton will play Chelsea. Bournemouth will host Liverpool. Tottenham will play Burnley. Watford will play Crystal Palace, and Manchester City in the evening late kickoff will play Man United, who really have their tails up, having defeated Tottenham Hotspur. Games will continue on Sunday as well, and even till Monday Night Football, where Arsenal will travel to West Ham, and maybe, just maybe, it will be time for Freddie Ljungberg to smile again. Well, F1 to reintroduce checker flag. And now, in the past, it used to be all flags, but due to digitalization of sports generally, they introduced electronic board. But these days, even the board have issues and they have errors, and now they're saying the definitive end of every Grand Prix will only be shown by the checker flag, which I think it just shows you that sometimes even the machines have their own error. Well, we can confirm some results of the NPFL. Wicked Tourists defeating Atlant 1-0. Meanwhile, Rivers United played an all-draw, scoreless draw, that is, against Abia Warriors. Adama United 4-0 against Katsina United. That's a massive win right there. On your screen are some fixtures for December 8th. Warri Wolves will play Lobby Stars. Rangers will play Jigawa Golden Stars, as well as Katsina will play MFM. Well, finally, on our conversation on sports or sports, maybe the greatest, maybe not the greatest, maybe the greatest of all time. Maybe there's no all time, but bottom line is Lionel Messi has won for himself the 6th Ballon d'Or, and he had come to say that when Ronaldo equaled him at the time, he felt not alone on the summit. But now that he assists, is feel more like he's all alone on that summit again. But you got to give it to him. I'm not sure if he deserves it. Personal opinion in that particular year under review, but hey, he's won it and we all are moving on. But congratulations to Messi regardless. Your winner, Dari, was he?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It shouldn't be. I would have gone for Virgil van Dijk, who had a fantastic 2019 year in review. Let's leave it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Messi's.
He's Messi's at the end of the day.
Absolutely deserved it. He had a wonderful...
Are you sure this guy is not trying to banter already?
He had absolutely deserved it. He had a fantastic year individually. He won the La Liga with Barcelona. Without his goals, Barcelona wouldn't have been anywhere. So he deserved it. It's an individual award, not a team award.
All right, so there you have it. The Virgin's opinion is always going to be, because again, like I said, Luka Modric won it last year in the year they had the World Cup, and he was not even the best player for Croatia, in my opinion. But then again, guess what? The following year, it was not anywhere close to a 30-man list. That right there shows a lot of loopholes and flaws. But hey, It's always going to happen. Congratulations to Messi regardless. Absolutely amazing footballer. Maybe the greatest, maybe not. But all this and more, we'll get to find out during the course of other production. Not today, because we'll be going right now for our biggest case on the burner. I'm actually not happy with you. I mean, that's if you're just joining us right now. I mean, where did you go? Where have you been? You've missed a chunk load of decent football and sports gist generally. But not to worry. The next thing we want to hear is going to be quite interesting. And maybe we'll make up for the other things. But just in case you missed any edition and you want to see if at all your team was discussed, you only know the way to go. And that's at our YouTube channel, at Hotsports NG, right there on your screen. I do well to subscribe. You'll be here when you press the subscription button, and we're looking forward to having you join us on that platform. Remember, what we're discussing right now is the 10-man list as released by CAF, the CAF Awards for 2019. On that list was no Wilfred Ndidi, and on the day it was released, it trended so much on social media, even to the following day. We are here going to hereby, I'm going to leave it to the gentleman, starting with Dare with his thesis, on whether or not he thinks Wilfred Ndidi deserves a place on the top 10 list.
Individual awards should be based on your vintage performance, unrivaled contributions to goals, as well as assists, not forgetting tackles. Fine, Wilfred Ndidi did well in 2018-2019 season, but it's not even the best for his club side. Neither can you beat your chest to say he's the best player for the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the Nations Cup a couple of months ago. And on that note, I don't think he deserves to be in the top 10 list of the CAF best players.
2019 was the year we had the Nations Cup. The Super Eagles got to the semi-finals, and Wilfred Ndidi played a very crucial role. The top 10 list we just heard of had players that weren't even at the Nations Cup, talk less of getting to the semi-finals. So I believe Wilfred Ndidi should be among the top 10 for the contenders of the African Player of the Year.
And we're ready for what is going to be a conversation that is very juicy, to say the least. So, gentlemen, over to you. Dare, I think you should start.
Check players that have been on the list. These are players that have either done extremely well for their club side or even their national team. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was arguably the best player for Arsenal and one of the best players in the English Premier League, joint top scorer as well, not forgetting the likes of Sadio Mane. I mean, it's even undebatable. And for Wilfred Ndidi on the other hand, for Leicester City, Jimmy Vardy was voted the best player for last season. All the whole of 2018, 2019, or even the whole of 2019, the best player for Leicester City is Jimmy Vardy. In terms of goals in the whole of Premiership, no one comes close to him. And in Nigeria, at the just concluded AFCON, what can you say of a certain Ojondoy Halo? Take away his goals and Nigeria will never make it to the semi-final, even winning the top place match, whichever way you look at it. Look at Wilfred Ndidi on the other hand.
So, my colleague here said Jamie Vardy is the best player for Leicester City. Leicester City's position in the EPL now is basically, Ndidi is actually a testament to Leicester City's position in the Premier League now.
How do you mean?
Because he has been never present in their midfield.
Everyone can be ever. See, look, we are not saying it's listen. We are not saying Ndidi is not is a good player or not. We are not debating that. We are debating does it deserve to be.
He deserves to be in the top 10 of the African players.
We are talking about players like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We are talking of the likes of Mohamed Salah.
The Aubameyang you mentioned, okay, he was highest goal scorer at the EPL, quite all right. But was he at the Nations Cup?
Okay.
And it was a year we had the Nations Cup. Every year there's a major competition. The major competitions are considered for you to even
Thank
make
you.
any
Thank you.
list.
Thank you. You just boxed yourself.
No. Let me refer you to 2006.
Okay.
This is not even African Player of the Year.
Okay.
For the World Player of the Year in 2006, before the World Cup, Ronaldinho Gaucho was the best player in the world.
Now you are shifting away from. Look at you. You are shifting the goalpost away from. You are beginning to shift the goalpost away from the CAF award now to FIFA award. Continue. A case study with FIFA, not with CAF. A case study with FIFA, not with CAF.
International competition.
Okay.
In a year there's an international competition, players are considered for their performances at that competition.
Go and check the year Didier Drogba won the African Footballer of the Year. He never won the Nations Cup. So what are we saying? Are we saying his vintage performance for Chelsea should be let go? Because but they didn't win it. But they didn't win it. But they didn't win it.
We're not saying Ndidi should win. We're asking, is it part of the top 10? So again, let's go through those players that are actually on the top 10. So we have on your screen again, Andre Onana, Hakim Ziyech. Maybe you could use that as your conversation. Koulibaly, Ben Assar, Mohamed Salah, Odion Igalo, Emerick Aubameyang, Karim Mahrez, and Sadio Mane and Yusuf Belaili.
Algeria had 3 players on the list, and it's not as if they were all the best players on the list. Okay, Belaili scored the highest amount of goals. Did Benacer have any goal? Because he has been emphasizing on Ndidi assisting or scoring. Benacer didn't have any goal. He didn't have any assist, but he was crowned the goal. He got the golden ball at the Nations Cup.
Hold on. So what is the yardstick for you? Is there a yardstick, Darius? I mean, are we saying because one player is the good player for his country, he shouldn't perform for his club? Do we have a metric, Darius?
In the year under review, I mean, we are talking about Wilfred Ndidi, the fantastic player for Leicester City.
Okay.
But at the Nations Cup, it was not a vintage Wilfred Ndidi that played for Leicester City. So when you put these two together, check other players that were on the list. They were either absolutely fantastic for their club side or for their national team. You mentioned Ziyech with Morocco might not have gotten to the big pass we all expected them to get to. But at least checking with Ajax, he was one of the best at the Champions League. You talked about Riyad Mahrez. I mean, his contribution to the national team as well as the club is second to none. So when you look at Wilfred Ndidi, it's difficult to make case for him on both sides of the divide, both national team and club side.
Can I ask you a simple
question? Please go ahead.
What is this year? We are in the year 2019. What position is Leicester City?
They are currently second.
I'm asking you.
They are currently second.
They are second.
Yeah.
Name their key players for me, please.
Obviously, I will name Wilfred Ndidi.
So you are now telling me Wilfred Ndidi shouldn't be in the top 10.
No, so Wilfred Ndidi is a good player. That doesn't mean he deserves to be in the top 10. Every good player doesn't mean they have to. I mean, what are we saying?
Let me ask you another question. The African Nations Cup team of the tournament. Was Wilfred Ndidi there? Was Wilfred Ndidi there? That is what I'm asking you, because you are shooting yourself in the leg. Wilfred Ndidi was in top 11. He was in the top 11. He was in the top 11. I'm not streamlining him.
Fisayo, please hold on. We've heard submissions of this gentleman. He's been back and forth. I'm sure wherever Wilfred Ndidi is right now, his ears will be really, really itching him, because these gentlemen have just been going back and forth on Ndidi. So I will give them the opportunity of having their last thoughts. And remember, you also can be part of this conversation. How about you take out your phone and text us? Let us know what exactly you think. Is Ndidi deserved of a 10-man shortlist for the CAF Awards? Barry, your final thoughts.
I'm funny how a man thinks that Lionel Messi, who did nothing for his national team, but just being the highest goal scorer for Barcelona, deserved to win the Ballon d'Or. But think otherwise for a certain Wilfred Ndidi. On that note, I don't think he deserves to be in the top 10.
In a year where we had the AFCON, and Ndidi played a crucial role for the Super Eagles, he even made the team of the tournament, and he has had a monster year for Leicester City. Their position in the EPL is a testament to Ndidi's greatness. For him not to be in the top 10 for the African Player of the Year is ludicrous.
All right, so it's really, really a good day to listen to these gentlemen have their conversation. And wow, what submissions we had. First from Dari, who feels that regardless of how well the player played, regardless of where he plays, so far he has an African gene and is an African player and is delivering and is doing his job, he deserves to be there. And meanwhile, Leicester's Ndidi was a fantastic player. But no, it doesn't deserve a top 10 list. But Fisayo feels quite well that if a player is part of a team that is absolutely outstanding so far in the EPL, he was a super player at the Nigerian time at the AFCON, as well as, if at all, that same player made it to the team of the year, the team of the tournament, he deserves the place. But here is my final whistle. Well, I think if at all we look at that list, I think clearly that Ndidi has one or two players he is better than on current form. He got to the semi-finals, and just like Fisayo said, it's difficult for you to remove Ndidi's significance from this particular Leicester team. But again, I think I agree a bit with Dari, who feels even in Leicester, Ndidi's prowess can still be forgotten if at all you do not add up with the goals of other players in there. So it's more like a situation of relevance, a situation of significance. But for me, personally, I think if a player is as fantastic as Ndidi and this consistent, I think he deserves a place. For the first time in a while, I think I'm choosing a particular stand and making my own, decision. I think Ndidi kind of deserves it personally. But guys, I'm looking forward to what you think. Please do well to send us a text. Let us know what exactly is on your mind. The number is on your screen. We're looking forward to having you tell us what you think, if Ndidi deserves a place in the top 10. I have to thank this man. The deliveries, the passionate analysis, the argument was, at some point I just had to tell them, I have some boxing gloves here. I don't want them to do a Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. But Adari, thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's a pleasure anytime, any day.
Absolutely. Pleasure anytime, any day. Desire, it's good to see you, and thank you very much for making the show.
It's my pleasure.
Guys, we want to thank you very much for being part of the show on behalf of the production team and my humble self, Babajide Guerrero. We'll tell you, please take care of yourself and look after each other. Remember, 10 p.m. Nigerian time, it's going to be Anthony Joshua taking on Andy Ruiz. We don't want to miss that one. And of course, you also do not want to miss another edition of Hotsports coming to you next week. Bye for now.